And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week.
It's September 11th, the 20th anniversary of a day that truly will live in infamy. All of us remember that gorgeous New York morning that was forever scarred by the horrible and horrific images that we all witnessed that day as 4 coordinated terrorist attacks came upon American soil, destroying the 2 World Trade Towers, blasting into the Pentagon, and finally failing to hit its target because courageous Americans took down that final flight here in Pennsylvania. Those attacks killed nearly 3,000 people, injured another 25,000, and forever scarred the souls of so many. At 8:46 a.m., virtually every person I know remembers exactly where they were standing or what they were doing when they first saw that plane hit the World Trade Tower, number 1. Most of us didn't know exactly what was happening then, but 17 minutes later, when the other World Trade Center tower was blasted into by an airplane, we all knew we were under attack. Within 2 hours, both of those towers had fallen, an unimaginable scene for every American. And shortly after 9:30 a.m., a third plane crashed into the Pentagon. The chairman of my gubernatorial campaign, General Chris Burney, was in the Pentagon that day, and his descriptions of what happened are truly gut-wrenching and horrifying. But at 10:03 a.m., something very different happened, because American heroes took out that 4th flight, which was designed to either hit the U.S. Capitol or perhaps even the White House, and forced it to ground in Schwenksville, Pennsylvania. Flight 93, United Airlines Flight 93. And the heroes of that flight were among so many heroes. Out of that devastation and carnage and horror emerged real American heroes. One of them, Todd Beamer, whom I had the privilege of knowing before 9/11 when he was a student at Wheaton College, where my son later attended, a star athlete there. He was the one whose words, "Let's roll," memorialized what happened in Schwenksville. Todd Beamer's 14-minute conversation with an operator is perhaps the best recorded understanding of what happened on that flight. He concluded that call with asking the operator to do something for him, and she said, "What's that?" He said, "Will you pray with me?" And so together they said the Our Father, together with other passengers on that flight, and then recited the 23rd Psalm. And shortly after they talked about passing through the valley of the shadow of death, they forced that plane and its terrorist pilots to the ground. So on this day, as we all remember and reflect, maybe it's a good time to make a contribution to one of those foundations that have supported our people who fight for our freedom every day. I honestly don't know whether the Todd Beamer Foundation is still in existence. They called it Heroic Choices for some time, and I know it suffered with some real financial difficulties, as a lot of the foundations that were set up in the aftermath of 9/11 did. But if it's still alive and around, contribute to it. Or the Travis Manion Foundation, also a Pennsylvania enterprise, and the Wounded Warrior Project, and a whole lot of other foundations to whom you could support, send financial contributions to, and just say a silent prayer with today, especially. And today is a great day to say thank you to all those who protect our safety. The first responders, our military, and everyone who stands on the front line of defense of our freedom and our public safety and security. My son's a volunteer firefighter. I'm very proud of him for doing that. And across my state, I noticed that the number of volunteer firefighters has plummeted over the course of the past few years. What they do for the community, and they once were the core of the community, is so vitally important. So contribute to your local fire department, volunteer fire department if you can. Become a volunteer firefighter, or if you know someone young wants to do that kind of thing, encourage them to do it, because we all know that if those volunteer firefighting companies go by the wayside, our taxes go through the roof. But today is a somber day of reflection for a number of reasons. But to me, it always boils down to one word, and that is freedom, and defending our freedoms. Our freedoms were under attack that day from foreign terrorists, and they continue to be under attack every day by hostile nations, foreign terrorists, but also by domestic oppressors rather than foreign aggressors. In any event, our freedoms have to be defended. We were told that eternal vigilance is the price of freedom, and that means every day fighting for freedom, whether it's against foreign hostile aggressors or domestic oppressors, raising up the flag of freedom. Because our freedoms, we are told in our Declaration, for the first time any humans ever said so, come not from some potentate on earth, but from God. Our Creator gave us certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life itself, liberty, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness. So freedom is truly at the core of the discussion. Let us all join in thanking those who fight with weapons for our freedom, but also making sure that our voices are constantly raised in defense of freedom. So today, as we reflect and remember, let us never forget, but also let us never fail to fight for freedom.